Hello, welcome to a new video. Today I am bringing you an unhaul. I don't think this is going to be the biggest unhaul I've ever done, although it might because there's a couple of series on here. But let's go. Okay, so there are various reasons I'm getting rid of the books on this. So we're just going to go through them. So first up, I have some like books box editions and special editions. So first up, I am getting rid of my copy of Left-Handed Booksellers of London by Garth Nix. This is actually the LitJoy version. It's got the reversible dust jacket and it's got the author letter art print. Is it signed as well? And it is signed. I really enjoyed this book. It was a 4-star. I definitely want to read the sequel. However, it is so hard to get the matching height hardback for the sequel, and if it had been a 5-star, I think I probably would go to the effort of doing it, but it was only a 4-star, so I think I'm just going to get the sequel from the library and be happy with it because I do want to read the sequel. I just don't need them. Next up is the Illumicrate edition of Jara by S.J. Jones. This was a 4-star for me. I enjoyed it. This is one I probably won't bother with the sequel. I wasn't hooked enough. I don't need to keep it. I have not bothered getting the matching sequel. Next isn't a book box, but it is a Waterstone special edition of In the Lives of Puppets by TJ Klune. I 5-starred this. The absolute only reason I'm unhauling this edition is because I have pre-ordered the Illumicrate edition that will match in height to my copy of House in the Cerulean Sea, because I like it being matchy-matchy. I loved this book. The unhaul is only because I'm getting a matching copy. That is the only reason I'm getting rid of this. Otherwise, this would be staying on my shelf because look at those edges. I love them. So yeah. Next is Fable and Namesake by Adrienne Young. Now, I have had these for the longest time because I got these off Fairy Loot. I 4-starred both of these. I did really enjoy them. However, the rest of the books in this world, I think it's the World of the Narrows or something, Fairy Loot have not done, and the cover is different. So I won't be getting them. And I also don't actually have an interest. I felt like this duology was all I wanted from this world. So I don't need to keep these because I don't think I'll actually ever reread them. So these are going. And then another one I really enjoyed, but it's the Fairy Loot of edition of The Girl Who Fell Beneath the Sea by Axio. This is another one where I absolutely love this edition and I really enjoyed this book. I think, was this a 5-star or a 4-star? I can't remember. It was either 4 or 5 and I did really enjoy it. However, my other book by Axio is a small hardback and this is a big hardback and I'll never be able to get a matching edition. So I'm just happy with knowing I don't need to reread this. So it's fine. Also, I need to put my fan back on and have a drink. Next up, we have the Fairy Loot editions of Incendiary and Illusionary by Zoraida Cordova. I really enjoyed these books, don't get me wrong. I just don't think I'm ever going to reread them. And the only thing special really is the sprayed edges. I did really enjoy this series. I'm trying to be better at unhauling books I don't think I'm going to reread. And they weren't 5 stars. I'm pretty sure both of these were 4 stars. And if it's not a 5-star, and if it's not one I think I'm going to reread, then if I ever do want to reread it, this is what libraries are for. So I'm going to... They're going to go. And the same goes for The Merciful Crow and The Faithless Hawk by Margaret Owen. I really, really enjoyed these. And I did think this was a really good entry to the duology. This is the Fairy Loot edition, back when Fairy Loot didn't really have many customizations. I actually don't think this has any, other than the reversible dust jacket. And I think it might be signed. It is signed as well. But realistically, I don't think I'm ever going to reread these. So they are going. Again. 1 for Sorrow, 2 for Joy by Zoe Sugg and Amy McCulloch. I really enjoyed these. Really. I think these were both 5 stars. However, they are the type of books I'm not going to reread. They're like YA thrillers. And I think the way this ended was insane. And now I'm starting to doubt whether I actually do want to reread them. Maybe these won't go on the... I might keep these until the next Unhaul and see how I feel then. Because I'm starting to doubt my decision now. I don't know what to do. Okay, these are going to stay for now. For now. Oh, I was being so good. I'm getting rid of one arc, which is Sun in the Void by Gabriela Romero Lacruz. I don't know what to do with this arc because I can't really give it to the charity shop because then they'll sell it and literally says not for resale. So I don't know what to do with this. If anyone wants this, if you have anything to trade, you can let me know. And if not, I might just do it for postage. Like, obviously I'm not selling it. It's an arc. We don't do that. But like, if you've got something to trade, we could maybe do a trade. But it's going. I DNF'd it. I didn't like it. Next up was a couple of DNFs. So, The Chalk Man by CJ Tudor. There is no need for a book to have a trigger list like this one does. I don't care what type of book it is. This is supposed to be a like murder mystery thriller. Some of the triggers in this, unnecessary. Unnecessary. And then the other one was The Mercies by Kieran Mild Hargrave. Again, triggers, not like a huge list of triggers, but a pretty big trigger for me was in here, and I was like, no, I'm noping out. I don't care. Then we move on to one that is purely because it's not the right edition. I got sent the wrong edition of Spyglass by Maria V. Snyder. The company sent me the complete wrong book because it actually has a different ISBN number, and I pulled them up on this and they apologized. They refunded me because they didn't have the correct one to send me. I have since managed to get the correct edition, but yeah, they were really quick with sorting out my issue. I was quite happy with that. Like, mistakes happen, it's fine, and I've sorted it now, so it's fine. Then we have Blackout, which is by 6 different authors. I really enjoyed this, don't get me wrong. I just don't think I'll reread it. It's just a YA contemporary romance, and I don't tend to reread those. But I did really enjoy all but one of these stories. Next is The Fiancé Fast by Alexandria Bellefleur. The only reason this is going is because I need to get the US cover. I have the US covers of her other series, and I just prefer the US cover because it actually has the couple on the front. UK, why are we not showing sapphics? Come on, sort it out. This looks like a straight romance, but it's not. It's sapphic. It's gay. Next is The 7-Year Slip by Ashley Poston. This makes me sad because Dead Romantics was on the last one. This has a major trigger for me. And I didn't DNF it. I did get through it, but it did diminish my enjoyment a little bit. And whilst I am glad I read it, I will not be rereading this. Next is 2 that I read years ago, and... Okay, so the first one is The Wicked Deep by Shea Earnshaw. I love Shea Earnshaw's writing. This was beautiful. I have since read Winterwood, which I think is just even better than this, and I'm not getting rid of Winterwood. I think I'll reread that, but I don't think I'm going to reread this one. And I'm a little bit sad because this was one of my early book box club books. Like, it's signed, but it's not personalised, so... But it also has this little postcard. I just don't think I'm going to reread it, so unfortunately, it's going. And then the other one I'm actually starting to debate whether I want to get rid of. It's To Kill a Kingdom by Alexandra Christo. This is actually signed and personalised, and it's the hardback. I don't know if I'm going to reread this, and if I did reread it, would I love it as much? Because this was like a 5-star favourite for me, and I don't know. I feel like this should also go on the maybe pile, because now I'm saying it on a video, I'm starting to regret saying it. Okay, this is going to go on the maybe pile as well, because I don't know if I want to get rid of this one. It's not even that it's signed and personalised, it's that I loved this book and I kind of want to reread it to see if I love it. And if I end up not loving it as much, I will unhaul it. But I kind of want to reread it because I think a lot of it is because I have seen, after reading this, I read one of her more recent books. I read City of Lost Souls, and I did not like that book. And I haven't read anything else of hers since because of it. But I'm going to keep this for now. this is an unhaul that isn't turning out to be as big an unhaul as I thought it was, because I've just added 3 books back. God damn it. Next up is Serpent and the Wings of Night by Carissa Broadbent. Now, this was a 5-star. Was it a 5-star or 4-star? Right, I absolutely love this. I can't remember what rating I gave it. I absolutely love this. However, I need to make space. And usually, that wouldn't be my only reasoning. However, Ash does have these books, so if I did want to reread them, plus I have the audiobook for this on Audible, so if I did want to reread them, I still have options. I feel like I don't need to, like, me and Ash are going to be living together at some point. I don't need to own every single book, same as if there's a book I own that she wants to read, she doesn't need to buy a copy because she can use mine. And like, there are some books that will have our own copies, like Sarah J. Maas, but books like this, I don't need to own as well. So, it's going in the Unhaul. We're trying to be good. Trying to be good. Next up is a couple of series. Well, actually, the rest of the books on this are series. So, I'm getting rid of the Dreamland Billionaire series by Lauren Asher. So we have the fine print, terms and conditions, and final offer. Now, I really enjoyed this series. First book was my least favourite. Second book is my favourite, with the third being a close second. However, I don't think I am gonna reread these. And for romances, they're quite chunky, so they don't need to be taking up space on my bookshelves. If this had been like a 5-star series all over, I think I would have done it. But all 3 of these were 4 stars. These 2 being bigger 4 stars. And I don't need them on my shelf. Next up is a middle grade series. Now, I'm actually currently reading the 3rd book, so these won't be actually going until the end of the month, once I've done my wrap up. But it is the Train to Impossible Places series by P.G. Bell. So we have Train to Impossible Places, The Great Brain Robbery, and Delivery to the Lost City. I'm loving these. I'm pretty sure the first 2 were 5 stars, and I think this one's going to be I think they were 5 stars. Either way, I am really enjoying these. However, I don't think I'm going to reread them, and I actually think my nephew would really like this. So these are going to go to him, because I think my nephew would enjoy these, and I would like to pass these books on to him. So that is the only reason these are being unhauled, just because I think he would really like these. So once I finish this series is being unhauled to him. Next up, I'm finally caving. So I have the Game of Thrones series. This is 7 books, and I've only read the first one. I have been, every single unhaul I've done, I've been like, oh, I should get rid of them, I'm not going to read them. But then I'm like, but I paid like 50 quid for these because I wanted the pretty Dragon Scale editions, and I've only read the first one. Like, there's hardly any creases because I was mostly audiobooking them, and the rest haven't been read. They've just been in this. So it's time to say goodbye to the Game of Thrones books. I think most of these are going to go to the charity shop, but I think I'm going to try and sell these, just because even if I can get half the money back that I spent on them, would be better than nothing. But it's just so much effort trying to sell books. People just don't want to pay, which I get. Cost of living crisis. It's affected me too. I want some money back. And then the final is technically 2 series, but it's 5 books. It's the Jennifer L. Armentrout books. So we have, from the Blood and Ash series, we have From Blood and Ash, Kingdom of Flesh and Fire, Crown of Gilded Bones, and The War of Two Queens. And then from the Flesh and Fire series, we have Shadow and the Ember. Now, part of the reason is just because the later books in this series, I'm not enjoying. They've been 3 stars for me, which is a shame because all of these have been 5 stars. But the other reason is, do you know how hard and expensive it is to get, oh my God, my hand is shaking. Do you know how hard, that's what she said, and expensive it is to get the editions that are going to match in height to these ones, because they decided to start publishing them and now they're huge paperbacks or hardbacks, and I'm like, no, just give me the ones that match these. And I can't without spending stupid money. And if the books had continued being 5 stars, I would have done it, but they haven't, and it's ruined the whole series for me. So these are going. So that's the Unhaul. We're gonna count them. There are 37 books here. Do you know what? It's really frustrating that I've taken 3 off of this Unhaul, because that would have been a nice round 40. But do you know what? I don't care. I don't want to get rid of those 3. Those 3 are staying. But I think 37 books is great, considering this is me. So I will take that. I've just remembered some others that I wanted to get rid of. Okay, so there's actually 3 I hadn't taken off my shelves, which I had in mind to get rid of, which actually means I am getting rid of 40 books. So we have Fortuna Sworn and Restless Slumber by KJ Sutton. I'm really enjoying this series and I will continue reading it. However, I don't need them physically. It's not like a favourite series ever. I'm not rushing to pick up the next one. So whilst I'm enjoying the series and I will be continuing the series, I don't need to get them physically. I'll just either borrow them from, I know my mum's got at least the first 3 or 4, and she wants all of the series, so I'll either borrow them from her or just get the audiobooks. And then book number 40 is, this might shock you because of the author, it's A Cult of the Vampire Queen by Katie Robert. I enjoyed this book, don't get me wrong, it was a fun time, it was 5 stars for me. However, I'm never going to reread this. It was a bit full on, even for a Katie Robert. I would rather read her monster romance, apparently. So I'm going to get rid of this one. Even though I did really enjoy it, I don't think I'm going to reread it. So, and if I do, I think I have the audiobook. So there's always options. So yeah, 40 books in the end, even though I did keep 3. So actually, I am proud of myself. That's a very good unhaul. I will say, if there is any that you want, special editions will be going on my eBay, which is linked below. I'm not asking for a lot. I'm just basically trying to get some money back for them. And my Game of Thrones one, my Game of Thrones series, I'm probably going to try and get some money back for. But apart from that, and these, which will be going to my nephew, let me know if there's anything you want, and all I will want for it is postage. So I hope you enjoyed that. I know I love watching other people's unhauls, so I hope this gave you joy. Someone else having a bit of a clear out. But I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you next time. Bye.